Hello, my name is Mike Johnson. I'm taking you on an inside and outside video tour of this 2013 Ford Explorer Police Interceptor with an amber dual color light bar system. This one was previously owned by San Diego International Airport operations. So it's not a police vehicle. It was a government vehicle with the light bar installed by the government for use by civilians, not police. So this was like a safety vehicle, kind of like the ones you see escorting wide loads on the highway or working in a construction site. This was a safety car for operating on the airport. This has a $6,000 light bar installation on it, which is street legal because it's amber and white. Now, we sell to 50 states in different countries, so you have to check if it's street legal in yours, but most states, amber light bar is street legal. It also has amber stealth headlight flasher LEDs. This one has bi-xenon HID headlights, so it's much brighter than the stock headlights at night, so you can see colors better at night. These are bi-xenon headlights. This has street legal pair of spotlights. The driver's side operates from a switch and the passenger side operates from a switch as well, but also there's a button on the light bar controller. So I'm going to talk more about the lights and stuff a little bit later, but for now we're going to talk about the vehicle. So we will mention that the light bar is a clear color light bar when it's off, so it just looks like clear. It's not obnoxious at all. This one does have radio antennas because it was airport operations. They did have aircraft communication radios so they could talk to airplanes from inside the vehicle. Those radios were removed. Now it just has the AM, FM, CD, Bluetooth, Ford stereo. The dash stereo can be upgraded to Apple CarPlay with navigation, and I'm going to include a video clip of some that we've done. I have different configurations that we can do that. That is about $1,000 to do. It's also upgradable to remote start, engine start. So if you live in snow country, this is ideal because it's got all kinds of off-road lights. So if you have to drive in the countryside, you got lots of off-road lighting capability. It is four-wheel drive, aka all-wheel drive. It does have a tow package on it, so you can safely tow trailers up to 2,500 pounds according to Ford, approximately. Not big heavy trailers with the Ford Explorer, and but you know, they probably towed a big X to the runway with their lights on if they have to close a runway at the airport. That's where the airport operations had a trailer hitch. It also has a big fire extinguisher mount, which is just screwed in here, that could be removed. All weather floor mats, they're all clean. Some extra cables. Full-size Police Interceptor spare tire, and it does have the Police Interceptor bars, which these are rated to get rear-ended up to 70 miles an hour and be survivable in a rear-end collision. But again, this one is a Police Interceptor, but it was not used by police. It was civilian use. So this is as far as you can probably go and still be a civilian configured Police Interceptor. The vehicle would be ideal if you need a safety car for security company or for some type of use like that, or you just want a car that all the troublemakers on the road probably won't mess with you when you drive this, because they'll take one look at it and they'll say, I'm not going to flip that guy off. Or maybe they will. Depends. These days you never know. This one does have rear parking sonar sensors. It does have a color backup camera that displays on the rear view mirror that can also display in the navigation screen if you upgrade the dash stereo to Apple CarPlay with navigation. Has wide convex rear view mirrors, power windows, 3.7 liter high output V6 police interceptor engine. It's very quick. We put brand new front brakes on this one, including rotor discs. These blue stickers, if you don't want these, we can use a heat gun and try to remove it, but they are reflectorized material. So some people we've talked to said, oh man, those are great, I want those on my car. Others don't like it. With a heat gun, it can be heated up and removed. We also have white reflective color, which we could put a white material over the blue instead, so you have a white reflective surface. This light bar is really clear. It doesn't look red or blue or any other color when it's off, and that comes with a vehicle. If you want that removed, you're better to buy another car, because that's included in the price of the vehicle. We don't want to remove a $6,000 installation. If you don't want it, go look for a different car. This is marketed to people who do need that for their safety vehicle. So we're going on a little test drive of the Explorer. Has 76,000 miles on it right now. It's running really good. Just driving through some neighborhood here. I'm going to give you an acceleration run in a second. Hands off, go straight. You have your spotlight on the right. With the spotlight on the right, that can be activated from your control panel here if the switch is on the spotlight. Spotlight on the left has its own switch within reach of the driver. So driver can actually turn on either spotlight from the driver's seat without reaching too far. Has a regular car horn, and it has an electronic air horn, so you can command attention. We don't want to intimidate any other drivers too much, but we have the electronic horn. But it does have excellent acceleration. Very smooth running vehicle. Again, no hands, goes straight and smooth. Excellent visibility from both mirrors. I actually test drove this down to Anaheim and back. We did service the transmission fluid. That's fresh service from Ford. The oil's good. The front brakes were replaced with new rotors. So the brakes, they don't shake or anything like that. We're just zigzagging through the terrain here. This is an all-wheel drive. The Ford Explorer is an all-wheel drive vehicle. When you stomp on the gas, it gets up and goes. It doesn't spin the tires because it's all-wheel drive. So the power that you're producing is transmitting to all four wheels to propel you forward. It has stability control so that if some of the wheels are on slippery conditions, it forces the power to the wheels that have the traction. So we're going to come over here where we can see our own reflection. We're going to talk about the light bar that's on this Explorer. And see what we can see in our own reflection. So I'm going to talk about the light bar for a minute as we test drive, and then we're going to test drive some more. First, as we're in front of this building, we can see our own reflection. We have a backup camera displaying on the rear view mirror. But as you want to know what the light bar does, first switch code 1, you can't see anything from the front. I'm going to move a little bit. When you go code 2, you can see a little bit of blinkiness. And when you go code 3, you got amber and white because it's in drive. If I put it in park, it's amber only. But as soon as you put it in drive, you got amber and white. It's tied to the transmission gear that you're in. So there's different modes as we continue to talk about that. When we activate the lights from the front and code 1, you don't see anything. But also from the center console, we have a push button to turn on the right spotlight from within the driver's reach. You just push the little button on the light bar control and it turns on and off the right spotlight if the spotlight is on and aimed. We have the HID bi-xenon headlights, and we have the spotlight. Those bi-xenon headlights are really nice, and they have bi-xenon means they're low beam and high beam are HID xenon. Now we're in code 2 now, so you go to code 2 and code 3. That's code 3, and then when you put it in drive, you have amber and white. If it's in park, you only have amber showing on the front. You'll notice by the headlights you have little amber alternating LED stealth lights that flash when it's in the code 3 mode. Turn off the overhead light bar. That's switching between modes. Turn off the spotlights. Turn it around so you can see it from the rear. And then bring it a little closer here to the camera. Now that doubles as a traffic advisor, but that's code 1, which no lights from the front, but you can see it from the rear. And then you can go to code 2, and then when you turn everything on, you have code 3. And then we also have the white forward-looking floodlights. That's your traffic director saying traffic move left or traffic move right or traffic go around me. So traffic director capability. You can change different flash patterns. There's buttons that select flash patterns that are more desirable to convey whatever message you want to send with your lights. Just pushing buttons to click through them as we go along here. And then keep it off, and that wraps it up. So as we go inside to take a look at the 2013 Ford Explorer Police Interceptor, this one has a cloth front seats. It's got a police center console with a light bar control. These switches are for the radios that have been removed, for the VHF and police or airport communication radios. Actually still got radio speakers which are not connected for the radios that aren't in here anymore. It's got the vinyl floor mat, vinyl second row seat. These do fold flat, so if you need to make a trip to Home Depot or the furniture store, you can fit your cargo in here. Again, door panels, excellent condition. This one was brand new, replaced. We bought it from the Ford dealer because the old one, the armrest, was messed up. Go in, take a look at the other side. Because this was not a police vehicle, the doors work normally like a regular family vehicle, and you've got power driver's seat, adjustable pedals. This is for the radios that it doesn't have. This is for our PA system. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. This also has electronic horn. So the electronic horn works and the PA system works, although it may not be legal in some states to use it on public roads unless you're police. But on private property, it may be perfectly legal, as opposed to holding the one in your hand as a PA system. And now they have them where you can wear it on your belt with a little microphone PA system. So it does have that capability. There is a master cutoff switch in the engine compartment. So whoever buys this, if we ship it off to you somewhere, we're going to turn off the master switch. So this turns off all power to the light bar, PA system, all of that stuff. It does not work when the master is turned off. But for the purpose of the video, we'll have that on for display and demonstration. This does have California emissions. It's a 3.7 2013. The engine's running really good. This, people always ask me, yes, this engine did have the water pump replaced. The Ford service history shows that they did replace the water pump at the Ford dealer. Between 30 and 40,000 miles they replace the water pump. Sometimes that's a big expense if you need it done, but there is a rule: if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So the light bar controller is right here. Like traditional police light bars, it has code 1, code 2, and code 3. But unlike the police light bars, code 3 is not red or red and blue. And then you have your warning patterns, which you can change. And you have your traffic director, which you can select the direction. You have alley lights. The little lights in the buttons on some of these don't work, but the lights on the light bar do work. This button here turns on the right front spotlight. If you buy a lot of X Cop black and whites or whatever, which I don't recommend, but because some of those are really worn out, and the right front spotlights never work because they power off of the light bar controls. So if the cop, before he heads out for the shift, points the spotlight where he's going to need it, they can turn it on and off from here, from the driver's seat. This one you can turn on and off from the driver's seat using the switch right there. So that's how that works. You do have a cup holder right here. We have our big tumbler in there, or a Coke can size. It's got two different size cup holders, and they're set back. And then I have an armrest here, which is adjustable, directional adjustment. It can point different directions depending where you want it. On the center, we have this red or white ticket light. So you have your stock dome lights as well. When you buy a lot of ex-cop cars, they have something called dark car feature, which means with the dark car feature, if you open the doors, your interior lights don't come on. This was not a cop car, so it doesn't have that dark car feature. So when you open the doors, your interior lights work like your regular passenger vehicle. So you also have your adjustable pedals. So this power switch moves the pedals forward or back for taller or shorter people. Headlight controls for your HID bi-xenon high and low beam HID headlights. Now the stereo here is the Ford factory stereo system, but I have a lot of experience installing aftermarket upgraded stereos into these. This one can be changed for a really nice Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capable stereo. Here's some video clips of some of those that we've put in. When you have Apple CarPlay, that means when you tell your phone to navigate, it will give you directions right on the screen in the dash. And I've installed various different types in the Ford Explorers. They work really well. They integrate with the backup camera, and some even support a front camera. So if you wanted a front mounted camera, you could have that as well, or a side camera alternatively is also possible. So we're going to get on the freeway. Capable of quite a lot of power. The engine in these Ford Explorers is basically the Ford Mustang GT V8, as it's designed with only 6 cylinders instead of 8 cylinders. So it's a high output, high performance V6 version of the V8. It breathed a lot of air, and that, when you stomp on it, produces a lot of power. We're driving in the freeway. This one is tight. It doesn't have rattles, squeaks, and strange noises or strange smells. So we're looking at the engine run hours and engine idle hours on this Ford Explorer. The current odometer reading right now is 76056. Total engine hours considered how long the engine has run is 8,737 hours. And of that, it's idled for 3,875 hours. It gives 2 readings. And the reason why it gives 2 readings is you can do some math and check the average speed of the vehicle. So if you take 8,700 minus the idle hours, 3,800 equals, that's just under 5,000 hours. So if you take the odometer reading, 76,000 miles, divide that by 4,900 miles, the average vehicle speed that it drove was 15 miles an hour. So when they did drive it, they were averaging 15 miles an hour. Actually, 8,000 hours is pretty low for a police interceptor, because I've seen these with 22,000 hours, which is more than two or three times what we have here right now. So it is low engine hours. People have been asking me what are the hours, and there you go. So I have been a dealer for 24 years. I've been in the automotive industry for more than 30 years. I'm ASE certified master auto technician since 1988. And I'm licensed in the state of California and bonded as both a dealer and a DMV business automation partner with the state of California DMV. We are a dealer. You can go to our website, check if this vehicle is still available. The website is mybestcar.com. Also is printed right here, mybestcar.com. Check what the price is on the website. Check if the vehicle is available. If you're going to pay a check for the vehicle, your check is to the order of a buyer's choice. Yes, we can transport this anywhere in the world, most countries, most states. If you're in Tennessee or Arizona or Nevada or Texas or New York, New Jersey, doesn't matter. We can deliver the vehicle to you on a transport. We can set that up for you. We can quote you before you buy the vehicle. You can finance this if you're in any of the 50 states. We recommend credit union direct financing or Lightstream.com for loan approvals. Lightstream is pretty good, pretty easy to work with, surprisingly. That's a bank. We have certain banks and credit unions we recommend, but if you're already a member of a credit union and they want to do a loan for you, we'll work with them as well. All we need to do is give you a purchase order. So call us on the phone, 951-681-2101. Ask for a purchase order. We'll exchange information. We'll get this written up for you if this is what you want for yourself or your business. My name is Mike Johnson. Thank you for watching.